Hi, friends. Welcome to today's episode of We Are Marketing Happy, a healthcare marketing podcast. My name is Jenny Bristow. I am your host. I am the CEO and founder here at Hetty and Hop. We are a full service healthcare exclusive marketing agency based in the Midwest, and we are the founders and the hosts of the podcast. So thank you for joining today. I'm going to jump right in. We've been having a lot of really interesting conversations over the last 3 weeks around candidate recruiting. So as far back as we've been doing healthcare marketing, so 8 years ago, whenever I started the agency, we realized it's a pendulum, right? You're either doing marketing for patient acquisition, so you're trying to help patients find the care that they need within your organization, or you're actively trying to find and hire providers to be able to make sure you can deliver the care that you're promising to patients. So we're kind of that pendulum swinging back. We're having lots of conversations right now about how marketing can lean in and assist HR and the recruiting teams to be able to get a more full and successful candidate pipeline. So I want to talk a little bit about that process. And there are 3 key steps in the process that I want to outline. We have strategy, user journey, and optimization. I'm going to go through each of them briefly. So the first one, strategy. It's so important whenever you're leaning in as a healthcare marketer to assist the HR or recruiting teams. If you're leaning in to be able to help them be able to more fill the patient funnel. Let's say you are a system or a provider group in Colorado and you desperately need more RNs. The first thing you should do is spend some time on job boards, finding out what the other offers are. So if I'm an RN in Boulder and I go on Indeed, what are the competing offers? What is the pay? What are the main value propositions? What are the differentiators? Just like in marketing, how you have to figure out how you're going to have differentiators for your patients to have them choose you for care, you have to do the same thing for recruiting. It is way too tight of a job market to assume that you can simply put a job posting together, throw it up on Indeed, and you'll have a whole funnel full of candidates. You have to be very strategic. What we recommend is spending a few hours going through and really documenting what are the different opportunities that those roles or those individuals for those roles have. What are the decisions that they can make if they're looking for an open position? So really documenting what are the pay ranges that you see? What are the key differentiators? Is it schedule flexibility? Is it hiring bonus? Is it retention bonus? Whatever. There's financial and non-financial reasons why somebody may choose to work with you. So document the decision matrix and what other options are out there outside of your organization. Then create another document or part of the document that lists out all of the different things you can offer and figure out what is going to make your job posting actually stand out. What we love doing is once we've created this matrix is really identify 3 to 4 key messaging and positions that you can test. So perhaps leading with different differentiators or testing different financial structures. Of course, you always have the hourly or the salary, but then maybe you're leading more heavily with the hiring bonus because that's what everybody's doing in that market. So you have to do that as a bare minimum or whatever it may be. But identifying what those 3 to 4 testing components are and then making a variety of job postings that really highlight those different positionings, the different ways that you can stand out. That is a very important step 1. Step 2 is documenting the user journey. So anybody who has been in the job search process recently knows it is so frustrating. I have a lot of friends and prior colleagues that are actively job hunting, or even if you just go on LinkedIn, you see so many people complaining about how difficult it is to even just apply for a job because of the clunkiness of the technology. So put yourself in that candidate's shoes. Actually go through your application process and understand how many clicks does it take before you can actually submit your application? How much information do you have to have handy? Do you have to upload your resume and manually enter your information? Is it possible to do the application on a mobile device? Is there a separate landing page for this specific role that you're trying to fill? that really outlines those key differentiators and puts them right into a quick apply situation online. Documenting the journey and then identifying opportunities to be able to improve it through smarter marketing, whether it's landing pages, quick links, et cetera, or technology improvement. A lot of the candidate tracking softwares actually have a new functionality where you can maybe have somebody, when they begin the application, enter their cell phone number or their email, and that will initially start their file. So your recruiter can follow up with them in case they don't actually finish the application. So there's all these like technical tricks that you can do to really increase the volume. And then you're going to be relying, of course, on HR and recruiting to have a strong follow-up process, which of course you can lean into as far as communication, timeline, cadence, automation, all that fun stuff. But the third one is once you have, what you're saying and how you're standing out, that the technology is there, then actually starting promoting. So just like when you're doing patient recruiting, you have two separate ways people will find you. The first is if they're actively looking for a new position. So this is on job boards, even honestly in Google. There's a variety of paid media opportunities. You can make sure that your job posting is front and center. But there's also the right person, right credentials that isn't actively searching. And that's where additional media opportunities such as Facebook or meta ads, even on TikTok, if you have a strong TikTok presence for your organization, there's lots of different ways that you can target folks based off of their experience, credentials, et cetera. And then it's all about optimization. So something we strongly recommend is really viewing it just like the patient acquisition funnel. How can you measure the dollars you're spending on marketing for recruiting through the number of applicants that you receive, interviews, and then new hires? With one of our prior clients, we actually even had it go through 30-day retention. So we really knew candidates were strong if they not only were interviewed, hired, offered, hired, but then 30 days later, if they were still there. That's the kind of candidate that our marketing optimized towards. So making sure you're measuring things and optimizing appropriately, treat it just like patient acquisition. You got to make every dollar count. Last thing, I had two separate people ask me this question yesterday. With all of the patient privacy and analytics rules, all the changing in the analytics setup, the tactics that we can do, what in the world does that do to candidate marketing? Or is candidate marketing beholden to these same rules? Kind of, is the short answer. So in an ideal world, you will have a separate recruiting or careers website or microsite that is completely separate from your organization's website that patients access. In that situation, you often can get away with using Google Analytics 4 right out of the box. You might even be able to do directly Facebook and Meta conversion tags on it. If there is no patient-related information, it's strictly a recruiting and careers website. For most people, though, it's actually a page, a tab, a section of their current site, in which case you have two choices. You can bifurcate your website and have some of it have certain kinds of tags and some of it have the other. We recommend just going full tilt, treat everything the same. Figure out what your new solution is, whether you go with our privacy solution, the server-side tag manager. Hit me up if you want to talk about that. Or if you go with a CDP or a new analytics tool, whatever it is, it's really easiest if you just do it across the board. One thing I'll say is that server-side tag manager, Hetty and Hops, privacy-oriented solution, we actually have the ability to integrate Meta and LinkedIn's conversion APIs. So you can still get full conversion data on everything, but you're not unnecessarily collecting IP addresses, device IDs, all of that fun stuff. So really can go on the other side. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you have any questions about candidate recruiting or HR marketing campaigns, give me a call. We love brainstorming this stuff. We love sharing ideas. And definitely happy to share some case studies for some cool work that we've done recently. But thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you on a future episode of We Are Marketing Happy.